Okay.
Joe Caswell is here, and he is holding all the money. He's taking all bets.
Taking all them. Okay.
But you have to cover the spread.
There's a spread.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Within, I don't, but gambling is always, should, a good gambler always realizes that the gambler is never at the same advantage as the gamblee.
The favor always goes to the house.
Exactamundo.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no matter what anybody guesses, chances are we're going to win.
Chances
Even
are
if you
we're
get it
gonna-
right, we're
Yeah.
going to win.
Oh, crap. Hold on.
The
Okay.
90-day universe.
Yes.
I feel bad for that guy.
What guy?
The guy that he tries to kiss his fiance and she's like, The guy that we just saw. And then Mohammed's chick.
Hey everybody, this is Matt. We're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for tuning in to another wildly exciting episode of Sunday Happy Hour. With me, as always, is Joseph Caswell. No, Joseph is in studio today. To my left, your right, however, is the lovely and talented Chris Fesker. Chris, you look dapper today.
He is lovely.
How are you?
Thanks.
How are you,
I'm
handsome?
good. Finally had a day off yesterday.
We had a busy week, didn't we?
We did have a busy week, so yeah, I did some lounging around, did some laundry, did a little housework, went grocery shopping, all the stuff
Nice.
that most people do,
Nice.
on a more regular basis.
Okay. Cool.
And then came back in here.
Did you do a
today,
little beard?
Ready to? No, I have
beard,
not done
scaping?
any beard stuff.
How come?
Every
'Cause it's
day
been
I've
cold.
wanted to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no reason to right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep going, and then one day everything's gonna be different.
You're gonna go for the whole scrape,
Maybe.
beard and hair and everything.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. But it's not time for that yet.
Behind the camera is, of course, the always beguiling Mrs. Toast. Mrs. Toast, how are you today?
I am fine.
Well, that's terrific. How long have you been in Al Qaeda?
I'm in Al Qaeda?
I'm curious. You seem to be obfuscating the question by saying, I am fine.
Well, I was looking for a word that didn't come to me. So, meanwhile,
Okay.
Nanny Fran is fine.
Okay. Well, that's terrific. I'm glad that you're here with us.
Here I am.
Here, and I think you have legions of adoring fans who are also glad that you're here with us.
I don't think they're quite legions.
Oh,
How many does it take to be a legion?
I think
know.
it's 144.
What's that movie?
That's
It was like-
a
A score. No,
Sure.
that's a gross.
that's a gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a different word. So a legion is
A gross is a
fourth
dozen
of
dozen.
that? A third?
I don't know.
Legion?
I don't have any idea. And as I've already pointed out, Joseph Caswell is here hanging out with us. He's drinking too. One of the things we want to talk about is our friend Jim Jam Jimmy came by this week.
What? Who?
Jim Jam Jimmy.
That's a real person?
Well, I'm sure his mother didn't name him that, but that's what his handle is.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, so he stopped by this week with a boatload of Coors products for us. He works for one of the
that cat, yeah.
yeah, very cool guy. He works at one of the Coors things. And didn't you say that he has a tie already to Texas Toast
He
Guitars?
does. His son played drums for Ian's band, the Couch Bombs.
Oh, his son played drums.
Yeah.
I thought you said he played
No,
drums.
his son played drums.
He looks like he's old enough to be.
Have a son that age?
Well, no, he looks like he's older than the youngsters in Couch Bombs.
Correct, yeah. And I think he looks just old enough to have a son that would be old enough to play drums. And I think he said he was their first drummer, and that
Okay.
that guy was ultimately too good.
He
and
was
went on to play with some other people.
Okay. Well, Jim Jam Jimmy came by. That dude's cool as shit.
He is a cool guy.
He came by and it was I shook his hand and he had this huge ring. And so I'm shaking his hand and I turned his hand like this to look at his ring and he was
Was it
kinda
like a
hey.
Steve Wilkos skull ring or something?
I thought it might have been a skull ring, but it had like a big green rock on it or something. So yeah, that dude's cool as shit, and he looks like like a cool guy. So anyway.
We have conflicting information on what a legion is.
Oh, okay. Well.
So Jonathan says it's 1,000, and then Aaron says it's 6,000.
Well, either way, since we just rounded over to 27,000 subscribers the other day, I would think that you're well within either one of those two definitions of having legions of adoring fans.
Legion, so that might be up to 12,000.
It could be up to and including 12,000.
If it was 6,000, you could have legions and legions. You could have 4 legions.
Well, is a legion 6,000 or is it 1,000?
Let's go with the
Exactly.
big number,
Big
just
number.
for
Just yeah.
Oh,
Don't-
so like this is
So-
9 inches?
No, so
Yeah.
so
Okay.
you have at least 4 legions of fans
yeah.
potentially.
Okay, we got another vote in for 6,000 as a legion.
Let's go with 6 then.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
6K.
sounds great.
All right. So is the microphone not doing something? Is someone complaining about the microphone, Joe?
Someone's always complaining about me.
It's plugged in. That's
Are you
all
sure?
I can do.
I should have my own microphone.
We can plug it in and plug it in again, but
I think we just go with it. Just talk louder, everybody.
yeah, that's
No.
just the way it works.
Well, I'm not going to talk quieter. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I don't
go
think they
ahead.
realize how low tech we are.
I don't think
it's
they
a
do
microphone
either.
on top of an iPhone, and the microphone's plugged in.
that's
and if
not
it doesn't
what it
work,
is. This is a
that's
very
as much as we can get
this
out
is
of
a
this,
wildly
this-
sophisticated studio,
Yeah,
Chris. Let
yeah.
everyone know that.
And when we did have our own microphones,
Yeah.
it was even worse.
It was
It
even
was
worse.
even worse. Yeah.
So anyway, let's get back to Jim Jam Jimmy,
Yay.
who brought us over this Coors beer.
Yep.
Chris, tell us about what we're supposed to do with these beers.
So there is one beer in this called Barman,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a tribute beer to Adolf Coors, the founder of Coors' hometown, Barmen, Germany.
What's this Lowenbrow symbol? Do you
I
suppose?
believe that's the family crest.
Oh, okay.
And the idea is that in '96 or '97, they wanted to come up with a tribute beer that was worthy of the Barman name and worthy of just the heritage that is Coors beer.
Do you think Brad Angove would give this the sign of the seal of hubris?
He may be okay with this, yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't realize that Coors, not only do they make our favorite beer, Coors Light, but they make this, which they've made forever.
Yep.
But they have several smaller breweries and
Hashtag Coors Light
kinda
for life.
craft places that are certainly capable of making some pretty fancy stuff.
It's a fully operational
Yeah.
beer thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and this is one of them, and typically they sell this just in
Brewery.
the finest restaurants.
So you have a theory about why it's in a can.
So right now, I believe this last winter at Christmas time, they came out with these 12 packs.
At Cridman time.
Cridman time that have 4 of each. 4 of these, 4 banquets, and 4 of another specialty beer they have called Batch 19.
Jimmy Jam brought us a couple of those
Yes.
cases. Yeah.
And I believe that the reason the Barman is in there is because they brewed a bunch, and then we had the whole COVID thing, and they had a
Bars
bunch
were-
of beer that was going to potentially go bad, that certainly wasn't going to get doled out at any restaurants and bars.
Yeah.
Because all of that stuff was closed.
So there's someone who is watching who says that he's the King Chuckabubba over at Coors, and maybe he'll chime
Yeah.
in and let
So
me
this-
know.
this
He didn't
can-
say it was the King Chuckabubba.
Yeah, so
but-
this one was canned in April, which makes total sense with my theory.
Yeah,
But
okay.
anyway, so the deal is they call this the 7-minute pour, and it's supposed to take 7 minutes, and they make everybody that sells it agree that this beer takes 7 minutes to pour. So the hot ticket when you go and you order a Barman at a restaurant is to also order another beer. And while this is being poured for you, you can enjoy this beer. And then as soon as this one shows up at your table in a glass, you order another one.
Yeah. So actually, Jimmy made us sign a waiver that said we would do this on camera and give it 7 minutes to pour.
Correct.
So are you going to set a timer so we can do this right?
Let's let the people tell us. And so it says, pour straight down the middle of a Pilsner glass until it is filled with more foam than beer, and allow the foam to recede.
Okay.
1 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
As foam recedes, pour again and again. As you pour the final drops,
You got
3 fingers
three-
of creamy foam will crown your beer.
He says it's supposed to be like ice cream.
Yeah. So here we go.
How do you right in the center,
No,
right?
so not in the center, down the side. Well-
I thought you said in the center.
Well, it sounds like that. Down the middle of a Pilsner glass. Okay.
So what I used to do with stuff
Yeah.
like that, would I put the glass on top of the can and flip
Well,
it
it doesn't
over
say to
and
do
pull it
that.
up?
No, so I'm going to go like this.
I'm gonna go like that too. Until it's more foam than beer.
I used
Well,
to do that when I
that
would
would
like a
count.
certain bar
Yeah.
if I got a Guinness.
All right.
This glass is definitely different
It
than
is,
this one
yeah.
too.
I think we're
Okay.
about the same.
Okay. All right. So, and in the meantime, we have to,
You have to
crack
drink
open
your
another beer. Okay.
This just sounds like a good way to get drunk. Thank you, Coors.
So we've got hey, Tony gave us $5. Hey, Tony, how you doing, man?
And Dylan's in the house.
Hey, Dylan, I saw Dylan was here. Tony, I got your email, by the way, the other day, and I haven't forgotten about you. We've just been so busy with classes that I haven't had a whole lot of time to get back to emails. Tomorrow, however, I will do some email answering, but I have a bunch of other stuff to do, administrative things to do tomorrow. We are changing our business structure tomorrow, and Mrs. Toast and I are going to be doing that. So
Still making guitars.
Oh yeah. But we're changing from sole proprietor to something. We'll bring you guys up to speed on all this stuff. So anyway, Tony, I haven't forgotten about you. So Chris, what else about Coors? We talked a bunch about Coors before we did this, and I thought let's have a thing where we talk about why you should drink Coors. Why you should drink Coors.
Why you should drink Coors. I don't know why you should drink Coors.
I think it's because it pisses off Brad.
And the sessionability
Okay.
is unprecedented.
However,
Like,
I believe that's a Budweiser term, sessionability.
no, that's a douchebag beer guy term.
Well, okay. You're the one who said it, though, so yeah.
Well, yeah, I was
that makes
I
you
was
a
using the-
douchebag beer guy.
I'm not a guy.
Yeah, not your guy, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, friend.
I'm not your buddy, guy.
We had I like to give Brad the business because he takes it all in stride. And you don't know this, but earlier this week I got an email from Crimson Guitars saying that they need a little bio and what we're going to do for the Great Guitar Build-Off. As you know, we will be operating in the judging capacity this year, right?
Correct.
Have you got the number,
is
the
it gonna-
cards?
Is it gonna lead off with Texas Toast Guitars, winner of the only GGBO to date.
To date.
The only winner of a GGBO contest to date. Started in, and then you put that in several other places.
I think that we could put that as many places as we want, but it's going to be up to them to edit their own copies.
true.
So
Yeah.
I don't think they're just going to blindly cut and paste whatever I
Yeah?
send them.
Oh.
And anyone who blindly copies and pastes whatever I send them should reconsider that. All right, are we at 1 to 2, 3 minutes here?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
It's definitely not 7.
No.
No, it
and
takes-
What you're supposed to do then is do it again.
Like
Uh-huh.
a Guinness.
and then do it a third time.
Yeah,
right?
and then a third or maybe even fourth time as the last little bits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think yours is looking a little better than mine.
Well,
I
it's
think
supposed.
it's the Guinness glass. It's made.
Well,
for
maybe,
that.
the
yeah.
glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first time I had it, I didn't realize the whole 7-minute pour thing, and I wondered why it was taking them so long to pour my beer. And I looked over and I could see it there, and I was like, oh, well, maybe it's a new keg.
Oh,
And
okay.
it wasn't until much later that I learned of the 7-minute pour.
This is going to be all over your mustache
Ooh, I hope so.
later.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
So anyway, Brad Angove is always fun and a very cool guy. We would like to. I hope that Brad watches at least some of this, and gets some humor out of some of this
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
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 What else, Chris? What else has been going? Oh, we actually had a student in the class this last week who also knows Brad and has been doing some stuff with Brad as well. And I said, you know what you should do? You should come back for another class and bring Brad with you so he can learn how to build guitars too.
I got him plenty of racers and lip gloss, so
All you need to build guitars is lip gloss, that's for sure. When you're
I took
as
the
handsome
strawberry
as Brad.
flavored.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mrs. Toast, is there anything that we should like? Is there anyone making funny, hilarious comments that we should acknowledge?
No.
No. Okay. All right.
No, not really.
Thank you for the enthusiasm. So, what other things, Chris, have we been up to this week?
Well, we had the class all week, and that was a big deal.
Draining. Teaching
It's
class
always-
is
it's
hard
always-
work.
Yeah. But they're fun, and
Everybody
guitars
did
turned
a
out
great
Everybody's-
job.
Yeah,
Yep.
everybody didn't have any Didn't have any issues. Everybody left with all
No
their fingers.
boners.
No. Very, very little blood. Yeah.
It was mostly from me. I had some cracks in my hand.
And the
Yeah.
coffee can.
Oh yeah, that was Saturday though.
And really, the blood consisted of somebody got a splinter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
two splinters. Matt bled on some stuff. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the guitars turned out really, really nice, and class is always good. Okay, here we go.
Are you supposed to do it in 3 stages?
Yes.
Yes.
Here, read the can.
No.
Well, then
No.
you'll have to take our word for it.
Well,
Can we
now
start
we're- now we're
drinking this
looking-
now?
Yeah, now we're.
Well-
So I got a little under 2 fingers. Yours is looking pretty good. I got fat fingers.
Might be that some of it's lost to the can. You know what I mean?
Possibly.
All right, let's
Yeah.
try it.
All right, here we go.
I don't think it's been 7 minutes. Maybe it has. I
think
don't
it has
know.
been. Yeah.
Oh, Terry Hines says it's been 5 minutes.
Oh crap. Well,
Yep.
pretty beery.
Was
It
it
is
worth
very
the wait?
beery. It's definitely a German style pilsner.
Yeah, it's good.
Brewed with the according to the strict brewery purity laws
Of
of
Bavaria.
1870.
Wait, that was what beer company was that?
I forget who used to use that, but there's a lot of
Yeah,
German
the
beers that
strict-
still do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys both look like walruses with sea foam on your
Yep.
whiskers.
That I'm not sure a walrus does that, but and besides, Chris is the Eggman. So we wanted to talk about why we love Coors beer, and I think we did that.
I think we did too, and it's because it's the hometown brand. We are hometown guys. If
We're
we-
homeboys.
Well, if we lived in St. Louis, we'd probably drink Bud.
Mm-hmm.
If we lived in wherever, we'd drink probably the hometown popular beer.
Sure.
You know.
Matt really likes Shiner Bock.
I do, yeah.
But you can't really drink a whole lot of that, I think.
Yeah,
right?
well, I
It's Bock.
can't. No.
Well, and it's $9 or $10 a 6-pack, and when you're supplying yourself and everybody else with beer.
Yeah, that's the thing. We should get a keg someday. Maybe
Mm.
someday we will.
How about a party ball?
Party ball. Remember
Party
those?
ball.
Are those still a thing? Party balls?
I
I
don't
don't-
know.
I
Maybe
don't know.
somebody has one in like one of those.
Cold storage party ball?
Let's just get a fish tank and fill it full of beer.
That's a terrific idea.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Sawdust and everything else. It'll be
Well, so I set this up. I think we've exhausted the Coors talk.
nice. Are you sure?
Well, we can always come back to
Yep,
it if you
we
come up
can.
with some other thing. Something's happening. Low battery, Chris. Hey, Chris. Low battery. And
So have we decided if the anyone shut off the air compressor?
no one shut off the air compressor. It was a battery issue, and now we've got it figured out. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to answer some questions here. What do you guys think about building a telly out of red oak? Aaron Cram would like to know what are your thoughts on that, Chris?
What are my thoughts on that?
Yeah.
You will have a very heavy telly, but
Yeah.
other than that, it'll be cool.
I'm going to
That's what I
say
think.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And this is where people start. Can you hear it? That's the feverish sound of people going, the red special that Brian May plays is made out of oak, and he's better than you in every way possible. I got it. But traditionally, oak is not a traditional electric guitar wood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't make the rules, guys. You know who does? You make the rules. You're the ones who buy guitars, and generally speaking, if you bought a bunch of oak guitars, there'd be lots of companies who would be more than willing to sell you an oak guitar, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that somebody has. I'm sure that somebody still does, but I don't know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Has Fender ever made an oak guitar?
I don't believe they have.
I wonder if Gibson. Remember when Gibson had those smart wood guitars that were supposed to be made with sustainable lumber? I wonder if oak was one of the materials that they had. I
Maybe.
don't know.
I've never really been sure why oak has never caught on, other than it just never caught on.
I think you're right.
And maybe,
Wait.
Yeah, well, yeah, wait. But I wonder if all the woods that we use now were popular in the 50s. I wonder if oak was a popular wood, not just in guitars, but because obviously not in guitars, but in furniture. Was there furniture? Did oak get used a lot for furniture, or were people still using mahogany and other woods like
I
that?
think oak is more like for like barrels and stuff, like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tom L says that, wait, where the hell did it go? I've worked enough with oak to say that it sucks working with oak.
That might be another reason
might
that
be a
you
reason,
don't
yeah.
use oak a lot, is because it machines. tricky.
Whiskey barrels are guitars. Well, the whiskey barrels are made out of oak. Yes.
And bedroom sets.
And bedroom sets, yeah, and kitchen cabinets in
Yeah.
veneer. And
So yeah, I would say if you are just dying to make a guitar out of oak, happy meal, do it.
Yeah.
But if you are like gonna go out and source material, I would say oak would be one of the last woods.
Well, he's
Yeah.
got a lot of availability where he
Oh,
is.
okay.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
the key too. Is sometimes people end up with wood, and for as a practice thing, or
Yeah.
I wouldn't spend a ton of money and a ton of time, but if I was looking to
But
dip
if
my
it's cost
toes
effective?
in guitar building and figure out how to do stuff, and I had free oak, I might try it.
Yeah, if it's a good deal.
What if you didn't have free oak, Chris?
If I had to go out and source wood,
Yep.
I wouldn't use oak.
What would you use?
If for
For
a
starter,
first-time
yep.
guitar, poplar.
That's right. You know what else has poplar in it? Our very next online training course, which includes a poplar body blank, and that's coming up in March. It's build a guitar body with tools you have. Now this, we're not going to do it with a Dremel tool, but we're not going to use the pin router. We're not going to use the shaper. We're not going to use the deadhead sander. We're going to use some power. We're going to use some hand tools, and it's going to be lots of fun. And the course includes a body blank shipped to you in the continental United States, unless you talk to me first about having one having one shipped out of the country, which one or two people have. Doc has arranged for it to go to Michigan. So anyway, but that's going to be fun because it takes place over 2 days. How does that work, Chris? Tell them about that while I drink some more of this beer.
So we are going to present the same class on 2 separate days.
Yep.
And you can choose to partake in any of those days. So it's going to be Thursday evening. We usually do it 5 to 7 Mountain Time, and then we're going to do it on Saturday again. The same class, but it's not going to be a repeat. We're just going to go through all the steps again.
And we're going to make 2 different guitar bodies.
Yeah.
So you're not going to see us make a Telecaster. I don't think either day we're not going to make a Tele, are we?
I thought one of the days we were.
I think that you thought and
Let's
they
fight
thought
about
we
it.
were going to make a Telecaster,
Yeah.
which is why we shouldn't do it.
Okay.
But okay.
And then, but anyway, you can watch it on Thursday. You can watch it on Saturday. You can just watch Saturday. You can just watch Thursday. You can watch neither one of them and then catch them in repeats. You can never watch either one.
We don't care. Carl Ingstrom sent $5 and said, "Late, but I'm glad to be here." Carl, I'm glad you're here too. How
Yep.
about that?
Yep.
Is that his like late fee or something?
I call it
No,
late
you
fee?
don't. You
Yeah.
don't need to pay a late fee. He just wants to, be a cool guy and help the shop. So we always try to answer everyone's super chat. We try to get to other stuff too, but we can't always do that. So
Because
anyway.
Matt likes to talk.
Well, hey, you know what? This would be a great time. Hey, let's do a great happy hour live where I don't say anything.
That is a good one. I broke first. Yeah, without Matt and his lots of talking and his constantly thinking mind, you can actually almost hear the hamsters in the wheel when you sit this close to them.
Yeah,
There would be no show. So
Everybody
Yeah.
likes to give someone give me a bunch of shit. They're like, "Shut up and let Chris talk." All right. I assure you guys that without my being a loud, and I get it.
And if
I'm
you-
a loudmouth, obnoxious turd, but I'm at least a loudmouth, obnoxious turd all the time.
Yeah, and if you cut me off and finish my sentence, if you said the wrong thing, I would say no.
I have
that's-
diarrhea.
No, that's not what I said. See? Yeah. So, and sometimes I get a little tongue-tied and twisted, and Matt just finishes it off, and then we can move on. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with it. So, they shouldn't have a problem with it either, right?
Remember all those times?
I've learned how to put up with it.
One day, maybe my wife will learn how to put.
Yeah,
up
I don't
with
think
it.
that's gonna happen.
No, I don't think so either.
No, I'm good for now. Yeah. So,
Chris, you should keep drinking because you were like totally.
totally fun,
Not
Chris.
you well. I'm not gonna say totally fun, Chris, but you were totally not sober, Chris, the other night.
Loose-lipped, Chris. Yeah, I don't want to do that again. The funny thing is, I
Keep
don't
together.
realize it's happening until it's happening.
Yeah.
You know, and we were, and part of that was because it was Friday, and usually Friday in class means mad scramble at the end, and we didn't have to do that this time, so we could
Yeah.
just chill out, and we had 45 minutes before the live stream went live.
And you
at
had
5.
high test beer.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, a
you
little
did
bit
have
of
higher
that, and,
test beer
but
than
you know,
normal.
it's yeah, it was like, oh, okay, we're not scrambling, we're not pissed off, we're not all stressed out, you know, it was easy.
One thing that happened in this class that has never happened before, which I thought was very cool, was we had 2 guys who were buddies come out to the class. That was a neat thing. I think that one day coming up, I wouldn't be at all surprised if the entire class was like a bunch of guys who knew each other.
Yeah. We could be the Deliverance canoe trip of guitar building, except with that whole, you know.
Without the
Squealing like
sodomy.
a pig and
Yeah,
stuff.
without the sodomy. without
Now
the-
with hardly any sodomy.
Yeah, 50% less.
Mostly sodomy free.
I think you're alienating some of your audience right now.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Other than that, the trip went pretty well.
In the grand scheme of things.
I mean, one
yeah.
guy died, but it was all related to the one thing.
This has absolutely nothing to do with what you devolved the conversation into, but has everything to do with people coming to the class
Yeah.
as a team. I got an email from a guy on Saturday, or no, it was Friday night, and he said that he and his son wanted to come, and wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, that'd be neat too.
But here's the kicker: his son is a young man.
He's
16.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if that's okay. And so I talked with Miss Thing, and the consensus that we came to was, as long as the dad is there too and signs the waiver, because that's where Miss Thing's head goes immediately. But my thing was, when I was 16, I was taking shop class and stuff. I don't know that that's a thing anymore. And then I thought, well, maybe this
Kids
is like
aren't allowed to fucking walk to school by themselves.
well,
for
but
2
get
blocks,
a
you
what?
know?
Now, what about this though? And this didn't occur to me until I was typing in the "Hey, that sounds fun" deal. What if there's no school that you go to anymore, and this is he uses this as a some sort of
Springboard.
educational deal.
I think it's a fantastic thing.
That's right. It's sort of like homeschool, but you're at my shop.
As long as his dad understands that there's going to be a lot of off-color jokes and inappropriate
We're still a
discussion.
PG-13 shop. Yeah.
Matt and I don't lead the charge on that kind of stuff in the classes. We let other people pull us into that.
Well, good thing I'm not here during regular class time.
You would have it would be a foul mouth.
It'd be a Richard Pryor.
It would be,
fucking
yeah.
show, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really, so I think we had somebody else that wanted to know if their 12-year-old or 14-year-old could.
Yeah.
And I think 16 is a fair amount different than even
It really
14,
is.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And 18, by the time you're 16, you almost feel like you're 18. You're certainly ready to be 18.
Yeah.
So I think 16 is probably okay.
Because you want to vote.
Yeah, that's the only reason you want to turn 18.
But you still can't have a beer.
Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, that's the way that
so you
goes.
can fulfill your military duty.
So you can join the military.
Yep.
And yeah, if any kids want to do shop class or join the military, I wholeheartedly support that. So anyway,
So yeah, I'd be okay with.
I think it would be really cool.
Yeah, and I think that would be fun. And sometimes I always look forward to just the different dynamics in all the classes, you know?
I agree.
Getting to know everybody and learning their quirks.
That's the best part of the class for you and I, because we have. How many Telecasters have you made, Chris?
A lot.
You don't even know.
A
So
lot.
it's not like, well, I'm really having fun making tellies. we have more fun hanging out with you guys and interacting with you and seeing what you guys come up with when you come out to a class here at Texas Toast. So you know what my question is for everybody? When are you coming to Texas Toast Guitars to take a class? So, yeah. What? Volume.
You.
Yeah, when are you coming to Texas Toast to take a class?
Yeah.
That's what we want to know. That's the new slogan. What do you think?
Sure.
Try and work that in to where we can both
Okay.
say that a lot.
All right.
Hey, Chris, what do you think is the number one thing we need to ask people about classes here at Texas Toast Guitars?
When are you coming to a class?
I think you're going to need to work on it, but perfect. Good. Good. Yeah.
When are you coming to a class?
I've been working on my delivery for a while. I just sprung it on you. Yeah. Yeah.
When are you?
I'm a little bit more
coming to a
incredulous.
class?
That was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all like, "Hey, what's the matter with you? You think
'Cause
you're
I
better
don't
than
wanna,
me?"
I don't
Yeah.
want to point.
I try to do the hand open hand now. You. When are you coming to Texas Toast Guitars? Yes, ma'am. You look like you're very. Are you constipated or are you upset with me?
I can't trust the fart.
Well.
No, I was just looking. Jason said you guys missed my wood question.
Oh well. What is
I
your
don't
wood
know.
question,
I'm-
Jason?
That's what I was.
Ask it again.
Ask it again, even if it's for the first time on this deal. Here's another thing. Is this going to be available to watch after it's live?
Yes.
Okay, we've gotten
I
that
think I
sussed out.
accidentally erased it last week.
I know.
That's the
but-
only thing that I can
Okay.
think of that happened. So YouTube changed their, they updated the app, and I had a bunch of previous
yeah.
shows that were like backlogged in there, and I erased a couple of those, and they were still there. So I just went and wholesale erased everything that was like backlogged into currently loading. I thought it was just a
Okay.
glitch, and I think I erased last week's show,
Okay.
which was a real bummer because it was.
It was a humdinger.
If you didn't see it, it was the best show we ever did.
And lightning in a bottle.
Yep.
Doc says that as soon as they open the border, he's coming down for a class. That would be rad.
That would be rad. Yeah. That would
yeah.
be. They're really fun. Everybody has a good time.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't had anybody leave like by day 3 or 4.
No.
And that's the thing is, it's not like you come in and you sit around and you watch
Cut
Matt
it
and I
out.
do the work for
Yeah.
you. You're doing it and you're kind of working kind of hard,
Mm-hmm.
but it's fun stuff and you know, and I think it's pretty rewarding and the people that are into that kind of thing don't mind a little bit of hard work.
They knew. Yeah.
And you know, you end up with something really cool and everybody, even after watching previous classes and looking at their guitars, guys are still coming up and saying, I can't believe I made this on my on my own. I can't believe 5 days ago this was.
Mark was saying that he was
thing.
still like,
Yeah.
I can't believe I got to
Who's
do this.
Mark?
Yeah, just go with it.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah. If I say
Maui.
Maui, then everyone's
Yeah.
no one.
Our friend
messes-
Maui
Maui.
took the class.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And and he was, you know, and he's like, oh, I always, you know, kind of wanted to do it, but I never thought I would.
Yeah.
And here we are, and it was a lot of work, but it was really rewarding, and now I have a guitar that I can tell everybody I made.
Doug Cook says that he's coming out in April for the 3rd time.
Cool. That's the is that
That's
for
the
the
charm.
Build a classic set neck.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
be really good. And I
Yeah.
saw Doug's latest project, and it turned out
Looking
really,
good.
really nice.
Absolutely.
I think that Jason Trail reposted his wood question.
Okay.
We're ready.
Do you have any blanks to sell if you are not in the upcoming class? What is the wood supplier y'all recommend?
Okay. So
Guitar wood experts.
Yeah, Guitar Wood Experts can help you out. Somebody gave me a bunch of grief for Guitar Wood Experts. It might have been Jason, but I don't know. And it wasn't a bunch. It was just like the shipping from Guitar Wood Experts is too much.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, where I get it from, it's $8.
We'll get it there.
I'm like, $8?
To ship it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless it's like right down.
it could be really close.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think that Guitar Wood Experts is out of line with what they charge for shipping. I don't think they
No.
make money on shipping.
No.
How about that?
I don't think so either.
But remember, you got to put it in a box and you got to pay somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's all this stuff.
I always look at the total price of the piece, you know, not just the wood, but the shipping, the landed cost. And,
Yeah.
you know, so like you're on eBay and you're like, oh, wow, this dude only wants, you know, $60 for this body blank, but but he wants $40 to ship it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 100. Okay, so.
So anyway, it was
Anyway.
Jason that asked the wood question.
Yeah.
So Jason, what I would do is I would call Dan at Guitar Wood Experts and see if he has something that you're interested in. If you want something that's maybe not quite as fancy, just to kind of get your feet wet, Chris and I have been talking. We are going to have on the website all the time poplar body blank. Now you can't go there and get it right this second, but very, very soon we will have poplar body blanks on the website. You can buy them; they're ready to go, right?
Yeah.
So you'll be able to buy some of that stuff from us.
And I don't know what our shipping is going to be either.
I don't. Yeah, I mean,
That's
but
one of the problems.
But
But
again,
we
we're
can-
not going to
we can
make
figure that out.
money on shipping.
No.
But we have to put everything in a box.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we have to put tape on it, and
Yeah.
we have to go drive to get the boxes, and or they deliver or whatever, and then
Yeah.
we have to go and take it to the shipping place and drop it off, or we have to print a label.
You still
Yeah.
have to. Yeah. There's still some
Yeah.
some handling in there.
I never knew what handling was until I had to handle stuff.
Until you started having to handle
Yeah.
more than one thing a year.
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
like, well, crap. Where do we? How much is this? And for like a block of wood, it's not that big of a deal to like.
Yeah.
We don't have to put bubble wrap and stuff around it. But
No.
but you know what I mean, though. Yeah.
Dented the corner of my wood.
Yeah. Looks like David Kelly says, Matt and Chris, I can't wait to come out for your next Make a Telecaster class. Matt, thanks again for your kindness and just being so cool. Thank you so much, David. Were you the one who wants to sign up with your son? I'm sorry, I don't recognize the name. I'm not. It's not that I'm a total dick. I am, but I can't remember because I'm also old. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to
Cool.
you coming out too. That's going to be awesome.
Teleclass is really, really fun.
Super fun.
Yep.
But anyway, so let's get back to the question about where and
wood?
yeah, and if you have an Austin hardwood or a Paxton hardwood or a Woodcraft near where you live, you can go and buy lumber there.
And
too.
I'd be willing to bet almost every town or city, major city, has some sort of hardwood lumber joint
I would think so too.
that you probably just haven't heard of because they don't. It's not like they advertise on the local news or something like that. But
Yeah.
if you find them, they probably have lots more wood than you would think of.
Yeah.
And you just start calling around and you ask, "Hey, do you have?" That's me.
That's you. You
'Cause
fat butted your car
No, I
again.
leaned on the button.
Fuck this person up. That's shit. Saw me coming and ran away.
Saw Carrie Ann
It's
coming.
me. I have this new key fob for my car, and it is so sensitive. All I have to do is like lean on it, or breathe on it, or bend over because my pants are too tight. And yeah, my trunk pops open, and the alarm goes off. It's pretty neat.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah, there's somebody in your town that sells 8-quarter wood.
Yeah. And if you have trouble finding it, Dan at Guitar Wood Experts, if you want just the plain beater body blank, Texas Toast will be able to help you out with that.
Home of the beater body.
Home of the beater body.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, though? Having a beater body for your first couple guitars ain't the worst thing.
No.
It's not going to be the best guitar you've ever
And
built.
you won't get bummed out if you totally wreck it. You'll be like, nah, it was
Hey,
not a whole lot of
Let me
money.
ask you,
Let me
would you
ask
get
you.
bummed out if you wrecked a beater body?
No.
No. I mean, and they're not
I'd
like,
be bummed out for a minute.
what do
but
they,
I-
what
but
do they
I'd
look
learn the
like? Do we
lesson
have
pretty
one
fast.
somewhere? Would someone grab me one of those beater bodies over there?
Did you see the...
See
next
by
to
the squirt bottle, Joe? There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's it. God bless you, Joe. So when I say beater body, I don't mean like it's covered in holes or anything. It's just gonna be plain Jane. It's nothing fancy.
It's actually got a nice top. I would take another one.
It's
Could I have
nothing
a
fancy.
yellow one? Yeah, it's. I built a bunch of stuff out of
Beater bodies.
poplar and
What?
it's really good beater body.
Beater body blanks?
Yeah. White Leary.
Yeah.
I built some stuff out of black Leary. It's, yeah. I mean, if the goal is to learn how to build guitars,
You want to start with a beater body
you don't
blank.
want to spend $300 on wood. You
No,
want to spend
no.
$40 or $50
Yep.
on wood.
Yeah. Doug Santianello just said, "Hey guys, what's going on?"
He said, "What I missed? He's late." I told him he missed.
Doug, you
pouring
missed
beers.
so much. We poured beers.
Yeah, we had a big long discussion on German purity laws.
Doug's,
and
did
why
you-
it takes so long to pour a beer.
Did I tell you that Doug is trying to make the Mike Learn build and paint a guitar with Mike Learn class?
Yes, you
It
did tell me
might
that.
take some
And
finagling.
that we might have to move some things around.
We're gonna see if we can make this happen, because I think it would be cool. Where'd all this freaking beer come from? Okay.
I
The
gave
brewery.
you more just in case.
It came from Jimmy JJJ.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, okay, so it's been like 40 minutes. We haven't talked about why you should have a cool guitar.
I think the thing just says why you should have a cool.
Oh,
Guitar.
really?
No, it's
Oh, no,
guitar.
it does say
yeah.
guitar.
Why
but I
you
don't
should
know
have
that,
a
But I
cool-
don't think it pops up on the.
But it's not a
thumbnail.
cigarette, or else it'd be a
It'd be a K. Yeah. Why you should have a cool? What was the deal with cools? Are they menthol?
Yeah, they're menthol, and it was what L. Ron Hubbard smoked.
L. Ron Hubbard smoked cools?
Yeah.
Is that
Huh.
why it became a thing?
No, well, he's got like these couple places that he had compounds that were his private homes, and they've got the cool O's there so that he can find it when he comes back from the aliens from outer space.
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do when you come back from the aliens.
All of this because of a cigarette.
Hey, man,
I
he's
can't
got
explain
a
it.
monkey on his back. It's
Whatever.
still
yeah.
there.
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't. You know what? I don't judge.
By the time he comes back from the aliens,
It's not me to judge. It's not
he's
for me
gonna
to
need a
judge.
smoke.
He's gonna want to
He's gonna
smoke.
want- yeah.
Oh, because of the probing. Yeah.
Well, and they don't have that kind of thing. Yeah, up there, presumably.
I don't know if they smoke in outer
I don't think
space.
they do. I've never seen a picture of an alien with the big eyes and the big head going.
Smoking.
Yeah.
What happened, Miss Thing?
Brad Hutchings said, all that beer came from my sister's ass.
Wow.
Is your sister named
Whatever.
Teresa? Because I heard she's a whore.
This
Dang.
is just Coors hate.
A lot of Coors
know,
hate for some
yeah,
reason.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's ask Brad Hutchings what his favorite beer is.
Okay, Brad, what's your
Brad,
favorite beer?
favorite beer? There, we did it.
Have a good time.
Yep.
So, Chris, why do you think you should have a cool guitar?
I think that you should have a cool guitar because everybody deserves a cool whatever they're into.
Yeah.
And you hate to put dollar amounts on things, but having a cool guitar just makes you feel good about yourself.
Have you ever bought? I know you bought a bunch of expensive vintage guitars in your life.
I bought a couple of expensive vintage guitars.
I know you bought a bunch of vintage guitars in your
I
life.
have bought a bunch of vintage guitars in my life.
Have you ever bought something though that's like the opposite of that, like the I just want to get this and have it, and been like wildly satisfied with it?
I don't quite know what question you're asking there.
Well, okay, let me clarify. I'm what I like to call myself a fake purse ninja. I got that from that Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy movie Bowfinger, where they
Okay.
make the movie Fake Purse Ninjas. But I like to consider myself a fake purse ninja. I like to have the real thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Even if the fake one is okay, or even if the knockoff one you can't tell, I
Okay.
know it's not the real thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And there ain't nothing like the real thing. So
Okay.
So and when I think of like a cool guitar, I don't think of the knockoff version.
Right.
You know?
I see what you're saying. Okay.
So I think about like to have the real honest to God thing. Whatever the honest to God thing is for you,
Right.
you should have that. You shouldn't have
Yeah.
the phony version of that.
Well, and you shouldn't listen to somebody else telling you what the cool thing is. If it's cool for you,
Yeah.
it could be the cool thing. So I've always felt in almost everything that I buy, I don't want to buy the exact same thing everybody else buys, which sounds funny coming from a guy that really likes Fenders. But for the longest time, the Fenders I liked weren't the Fenders that Fender was selling.
Okay.
Okay? And they didn't have 15 different models of Jazzmasters and Jags.
Yeah.
They had one, and nobody bought it.
Okay. And nobody bought it.
All right. So that's always what I was into. Same with bicycles. I was the guy that I didn't want to have the brand that everybody else had. I didn't want to have the Specialized. I didn't want to have the Trek. I wanted to have the smaller guy.
Okay.
Whose stuff, for whatever reason, just because I felt like there was some passion there.
Yeah.
Same with stereo gear or whatever.
Okay.
Cars. I'm into stuff that nobody else is into because just for whatever reasons I bring.
You have a
that.
really high class problem when it comes to automobiles.
I don't know about that.
I do.
Well, for one, I don't have money to have a high class problem.
Oh, that's
with
that's
cars.
not true.
But
I'm
still
looking
like
out
to-
there at dude.
I still like to feel good about the stuff that I
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
and I still like to think that the stuff I have is cool, even if nobody else does or hardly anybody else does. There's a small group of people that think that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like to be part of those smaller niche groups rather than, what do you have? Well, I got a Toyota Land Cruiser because that's the current most popular car.
I would like to have a Toyota Land Cruiser. though.
Yeah.
That's a neat
An
machine.
old one or a new one?
I'd take either one.
Either
I
one?
think they're
Okay.
neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so having something cool. Sometimes cool things are cool because they're cool. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to justify it. You,
don't
just have to.
justify it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing. And would I like to have a real live 1957 Stratocaster? Ultimately, no. I don't think I would. It'd be neat for a
You
minute.
were like going, and then you kind of like
Well,
shit the bed
no,
at the
but-
end
but-
there. Would I
but-
like to have? No.
No, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't like to have. But would I like to have another? Would I like to have a 1959 Jazzmaster? Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Let me ask you this way: Would you rather have a 1957 Strat
Mm-hmm.
or a reproduction 1957 Strat?
Well, I think I'd. If it depends on if I'm paying for it or not.
No, you're not paying.
I'm
for
not
it.
paying for it. I'll take the original.
That's right. See, that's the fake purse ninja thing coming back out again. Because
Okay,
even though
yeah.
they're both made by Fender, one's the real 1957,
Yeah.
and the other one it's still a Fender, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not the real thing.
Well-
Hang on, it's like David chimed in. Guys, have you ever made a custom guitar you love so much that you didn't want to sell it? And what made you like it so much that you love and that he loves the banter? Thank you, David. Very cool of you to send us a super chat. That is I can tell you this much. Every guitar that I built, the first like 20 or so guitars that I ever built, I didn't want to sell.
Yeah.
How about you? Have you ever made one that you're like, damn, this is
I'm
this
gonna
is
I'm gonna
nasty.
piggyback. I'm gonna drag the coattails on this. Somebody asked, wait, who is it? Tony Lopez.
yeah.
How many guitars do you have? Which is not a great answer because you flip them.
I haven't built as many guitars for myself. So a couple years ago, I would build guitars for myself in addition to the stuff that we were sort of building. Well, not that we were sort of building, but I would build more guitars for me. As we've become more
Yeah.
busy, I've built fewer guitars for me, and in fact, I haven't built anything for myself in quite a while. But I do build things that I think people will like based on what I like.
Okay.
Now, which is almost as satisfying. We have a couple of guitars in the works that
Yeah.
if we weren't building them to sell, I might be building them for me, if that makes any sense.
We have 3 or 4 guitars that that I'm right now I'm really enamored with, and a bunch that like they're not quite done yet, but I can tell already, like that set neck over there. I'm like, that's gonna be really, really cool, especially
Yeah.
when we put Lawlers in it, and it's gonna be badass.
Yeah.
There are guitars that we make all the time, and like, man, I really like to have. You know how many guitars I have?
None.
I have one. I have
You have all of these.
well, yeah, but like I mean, my own personal guitar, I have one.
You have
and
one?
it's not even one that I it's like a collection of parts that I put together like 20 years ago.
Oh, I know
It's-
which one
It's
it
just
is.
this
Yeah.
dorky Strat, and it's a this
Yeah.
dumb guitar.
But you don't play that much.
I don't play guitar. I have a bass. Let's see. There's some super chats.
You
man?
actually have a couple bases.
Yeah, I do. Carl says, do you generally purchase 7/8 stock for body wood, thicker or thinner? Carl, we generally buy 8/4 lumber. What 8/4 is so you can imagine that 1/4 is
1/4 inch thick.
0.25 inch thick. 4/4 is
1/2 inch thick.
4/4 is
1 inch thick.
Oh, you said 4/4. Sorry.
yeah. 8/4 would be 2 inch thick. Although when we buy it, it's not 2 inches.
Well, when
it gets
the
surfaced.
measurements of
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it shrinks when it's
Yeah.
cut from the tree. That's the That's
Yeah.
then it shrinks down
Yep.
if it's in the kiln, and then it gets surfaced.
And sometimes we buy it rough sawn, sometimes we buy it S3S, and then it gets closer to that 1 7/8, 1 3/4 usually.
so
if it's
net and
S3S.
nominal are very
And
different.
that's
things.
that's why all electric guitars, most electric guitars, are the sizes they are, the thicknesses they are, is because you can buy wood that's very, very close to that, just slightly
That
over that,
dimension,
and then
yeah.
you can machine it down to what you want.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's see. What made them so cool? And have you ever made a guitar for family or a friend that you loved giving and how they'd react? David Kelly asked that one. My sister has a guitar that she that we made for
Commission for her
that
husband.
Yep, and that was a really cool one. That one stands out to me. When the guitars that I built for my friends, those kind of stick out. What you guys got to know is that every guitar that I make, I really try to get excited about. You know, and I know you do too, right?
Yeah, something that happens though is you start getting almost too close to that project, and if you're not careful, you can just drive yourself nuts with it. The neat thing is when they bring it back and you get to see it later and you get to see how much they like it.
Yeah.
And then you get to see it and you're like, oh yeah, that one was really cool. Oh, I forgot about this or I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Man, this finish, it looks really, really good. When at the time you're just it's sort of production and you're doing it and you're taking your time and but you get too used to seeing it all the time. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's just Matt and me. It's not like we push it off to somebody else and then we see it when it's done and we're like, yay, oh, it looks great. Yeah, so I like seeing them later on and I feel better about that.
Jimmy Coors just sent me a text.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, Jimmy Coors. He says, "Hey Matt, watching your live stream. Thanks for the shout out. I'm laughing because Chris mentions a 57 Strat. I have an original 57 Strat that I've had since I was 11. Would you guys? Hell yeah, we'd like to see it. That'd be rad.
Yeah, you need to bring that for a live stream.
Oh, dude.
And we'll pour some slow beers.
How many people
and
want to
we'll
see
stare at
Jimmy
Jimmy's
Jam
57
Jimmy
Strat.
and his 57 Strat at one of these happy hour lives? That'd be great.
Yeah,
That dude's
yeah,
cool as hell,
yeah.
man. Yeah.
Yeah. So what were we talking about?
Oh, well, David
guitars
says,
and-
yeah,
okay.
David says he feels like I'm at a guitar strip club
club.
playing for questions and answered instead of lap dances.
Paying for that sort of happens.
Chris will give you a face dance.
I will.
No, he
You
won't.
won't like it, but
You
I'll give
won't like
one.
it.
Yeah. I've had enough of this. I close my eyes, find my happy place. Yeah. I have a couple guitars that I've built for myself that I don't see myself selling anytime soon. Actually, I have 3.
Okay.
So I have the Mosrite inspired.
So let me ask you this: do you
Guitar.
have any guitars in your collection right now that you didn't build?
Yeah, I've got a couple of Yamahas.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
And so I've got one Yamaha, and then I've got 2 that I rebuilt and did at least paint, if not like full.
Okay.
Almost.
Resto.
Should have started from scratch
Yeah.
builds on. Yeah.
Speaking
Yeah,
of-
that's it.
Speaking of resto mod, what's up with the EBO base? Someone out there is going to ask.
We're waiting for some tuner bushings to be made.
Yeah.
That's where we are on that project, and then
Okay.
it will come together fast as lightning.
Lickety split.
And then it will go away forever.
Bye bye.
To be never talked of again. So I have 3 guitars, and really in some ways they sort of fit the three periods of the shop. You know, there's one.
Yeah, that's right.
The first one that Matt and I built, mostly Matt, I think in a lot of ways. The second one I built all on my own for a special gig that I was playing, a special weekend. And then I have the SG2 flavored thing that I built when we first got to the new shop. And I don't see myself selling any of those guitars ever. So I build stuff. There's some stuff that really sticks and stuff that is fun for a minute and then you need to move it on.
I would really like to have one of our challengers. Driddle has one of the neatest challenges we ever made, and
Yeah.
I kind of regret selling that. Couple of questions here. Richard Ryan, my buddy Richard Ryan, Richard, I'm sorry I missed your call earlier today. He says he wants to know what the great American guitar store is, and I can't believe I forgot to mention Flipside
Flipside.
Music, the great American guitar store. Guys, if you're in the Denver area, check out Ike and Dylan and MJ and Nico at Flipside Music, the great. I have a new employee too.
They do?
They do.
Uh-huh.
I didn't get his name. That blonde guy.
Ziggy. And he's
Oh, the
very
dog.
fuzzy and very sweet.
His
yeah.
name is Ziggy
Ziggy.
Stardust because he's got a brown eye and a blue eye.
Yeah, yeah. He's half
I've met-
half husky, half corgi.
I think I've met Ziggy.
He's a sweetie. So go in and check those guys out. And if Ziggy doesn't give you a kiss, Ike will. If you're not in the Denver area, you can always shop on Flipside Music online store. They've got everything online that they do in the real store. And they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Flipside Music, the great American guitar store. Check them out. Let's see.
You can drunk shop at Flipside.
Oh,
but
yeah.
please do not sober return.
No. Are we doing repairs and setups out of the shop? Tricky Dicks, we are not doing any repairs at this
No.
time.
We're too busy with
Building.
builds. Yeah.
And Steven wants to ask, any chance of doing a finishing class? Funny you should ask.
We were talking about that earlier, and we really are talking about it. It's tricky because there's a lot of drying time with finish.
So that
but-
means a lot of face dances between.
Well, yeah. I mean, the funny thing is we always talk about how we would think that people would want to come to Colorado and do stuff other than hang out in the shop, and it's overwhelmingly everybody wants to hang out in the shop
And go to the
So-
weed store.
Well,
No one wants to
we
go to
haven't
the
even
weed
had
store.
that. And so we're trying to figure out some ways that you can get most of a finishing experience without
Watching the paint dry.
watching paint dry for 2 days.
Yeah, don't be surprised if coming up very soon there isn't a build and paint class that's still 5 days. But we're working on how to do that. So if we do that, I expect you to sign up.
Build and paint a classic 57 Strat class is basically kind of one of the ideas that we were talking about.
We could do that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. What else, Chris?
I
I think we're coming up on an hour
We're
here.
closing in on the end.
Yeah, let's start wrapping it up.
What do we have
Hold on, I have
coming
to
up?
get my danger glasses on
Oh.
here. David Kelly, what custom guitar took the longest to build in terms of hours, and what made it so long? You know, I think the most recent guitar that took the longest was probably Richard Remy's, because
Which one is it?
that's the P90 non-reverse fabric top. And one of the things that took a long time is just kind of I dropped the ball when he was out here and spec'd that. I had a bunch of questions. Like, we would get to some part and I'd be like, well, how come this isn't in the invoice? And I'd have to contact him, and then, it would take him a while to get back to me, and then
And
by the time
weeks fly by, you don't even
Yeah.
realize that, and it's 30 days later, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the most complex build we've ever done that took the least amount of time?
Jim Fuller's
double neck. Yeah.
Yeah, 12-6 super strat
Mm-hmm.
double neck. Why is that, Matt?
Well, because Jim is kind of an idol of mine, and
And he sort of paid for that service.
well, yeah, he sort of
Yeah.
paid for the
Yeah.
service too. That was kind of an all hands on deck project.
That was, yeah.
It-
We're gonna work on this till it's done.
Yeah.
Which
So
doesn't happen very
it
often.
rarely happens
Yeah.
that you get a big wad of cash up
Yeah.
front.
What's
The great guitar build off guitar went together reasonably quickly too.
Yeah, but that was still pretty hard.
Yeah.
That took a long time.
Yeah.
And that was all hands on deck too. Mm-hmm. That took, a really long time. Most of them don't take. There's little things that make them take a little bit longer here and there, but sometimes it's just delays in materials.
Shipping delays are a real thing
Yeah,
during COVID-19.
Yeah, or fingerboards, or
Yeah.
just one dumb part. We're going up until last week. We were waiting for for a trem for somebody for an inordinate amount of time.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
yeah, things like that where and then you get so used to not even thinking about that
You
project.
kind of space
you
it
sort
out.
of,
Yeah.
just space it out.
I hate to
So,
say that, but you kind of do.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what we got coming up,
'kay.
Chris. This Thursday, we have a live stream where I'm going to talk to you guys about selecting wood for your guitar build. I'm going to talk about body wood. I'm going to talk about neck wood specifically. I'm going to talk about fretboard wood. And I'm going to talk to you guys about why I think you ought to use some things and what you need to look for when you go to the lumberyard or contact Dan at Guitar Wood Experts and when you're ready to buy stuff. That's coming up this Thursday at 5 o'clock Mountain Time. It's going to be a live Q&A, mostly Q's and A's at the end because I'm going to be going hard and heavy and kind of talking about a lot of different things. That's coming up on Thursday. You didn't even know that. Actually, you did. But,
Sort of knew, yeah.
In March, we've got the online training for March is build a guitar body with tools you have. We're presupposing you have a certain number of tools. And that class, of course, comes with one of our Poplar body blanks, and that's shipped to you, and you get the class, and you get the blank, and you get, it's really 2 classes, really.
It's 2 classes, and you can watch it as many times as you want.
Yeah.
You can watch it at half speed.
You can watch it at double
speed. You can watch it, while you're falling asleep.
Yeah. We've got the build a guitar and paint a guitar with Mike Learn class coming up. Maybe some time changes. We're going to talk to David about that and see. I'm going to send him an email tonight.
Because we can't do it with one guy.
Yeah, we can't do it with one guy.
Not enough meat on the bone.
So
we
we're
gotta
gonna
pay Mike Learn.
We're gonna
he doesn't
see.
show up for free.
We're gonna see if we can't kind of finagle that a little bit and see what we come up with. We've got 2 reveals coming up this week. Is that right?
Reveal.
I believe so. Yeah.
We have the
If
Hotel
everything-
Coral
if-
Essex.
Yeah, if everything goes well, we will have 2 really cool reveals. One for show, one for go.
One for show, one for go. And gosh, so much more stuff. Do you think so? Remember, I took a boatload of video during Build a Classic Telly that didn't get.
Yeah.
Should I finish that? Would you guys like to see more of that?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We sort of dropped the ball on shooting a bunch
That
of
was that was me. I
well,
did that.
That was me too, because I'm supposed
That
to
was
be
Chris.
paying attention.
Chris did that.
I think we should both take blame for
Well,
that.
I mean, just the whole edit, because there's a ton of video we could just put out there.
Well, yeah, you
but,
could do that, but I feel like the last 2 days we didn't hardly shoot any video.
No.
None of that was my fault.
So correct, it was all not Mrs. Toast's fault.
That's right.
So thanks again to Jimmy for the Coors hookup.
Yep.
And don't be surprised if you see him very, very soon
With a 57 Strat.
with a 57 Strat.
That's like the most iconic.
You reckon it's black?
No, I reckon it's Sunburst.
Sunburst, okay.
2 color. Yeah, it'll be really neat to see it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can nerd out on all the Strat stuff.
Cool,
Even
okay.
though I don't really like Strats. And yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for watching another Sunday Happy Hour. We're going to try to make sure this is available for this week if you guys want to watch it again or watch the part that you missed. And I don't know what else to say except this is Matt at Texas Toast reminding you that life is short. You might as well have a cool guitar. That ought to be reason enough to have a cool guitar. And if you're so smart, start your own YouTube channel. That's what I did. Thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for all the Q's. I hope that you got the A's that you wanted. We'll talk to you very, very soon.
Someone said they're scared of the lullaby.